Hey everybody, it's Deanna. This will be a brief one. A few days ago, there was an episode of Abbott Elementary where Janine gets drunk. Ava and her friend and Janine's friend Erica take her out to the nightclub to help get her over Gregory, breaking up with Gregory. And Janine gets really drunk. And after 5 years of being picked on and teased and bullied for no reason by Ava, for being short, for how she dresses, for how she carries herself, for being a nerd, etc., etc., Janine read Ava for filth. And as I was watching this, I was cheering it on because it's been 5 years coming. And granted, Janine was drunk when this was happening, when she did this, but it's better than nothing. Because Ava has picked on her mercilessly and she got what was coming to her. And not only that, Ava was just so shocked and terrified because she had never seen that side of Janine before. If someone gets bullied for so long and they get pushed and picked on and teased, they're going to snap. There's going to be that breaking point. And this reminded me of when I was dealing with a bully. There have been so many. There's only so much time in a day, folks. So I'm going to focus on just one today. I've known this girl since 3rd grade. We went to the same gifted and talented school for 3rd and 4th grade. And then we went to the same middle/high school from grades 5 through 12. That was a magnet honor school. And the girl didn't bother me much in 3rd, 4th grade. Not much interaction. But then starting in 5th grade, this girl would pick and tease and make fun of me for the most minor and ridiculous stuff. She would point at me, ha ha, look at Deanna, ha ha. Oh, she's such a loser. Then one time in 9th grade, I was wearing a similar outfit to one of the popular white girls. And this girl, I'm going to call the bully Keisha. And Keisha says, oh, I feel so bad for Molly because Deanna is dressed like her. Stuff like that. And one time, this is in 6th grade, we went to a skating party and this girl was trying to stop herself. So she decides to grab me and knock me over so she can stop herself when she was lost control of skating. Just all this nonsense. And I took it every year. I took the bullying from this girl every year. I would run home crying, etc., etc. Hurt, too afraid to say anything. But then finally 12th grade comes. And I said, I do not want to graduate still dealing with this girl. So the first day of 12th grade, this girl was about to say something to me, say something ugly as usual. And before she could, I said, bitch, and kept walking. And she was so stunned. She was so shocked because she was not expecting me to react. And then later that day, she was with 2 of her friends, and this is the hallway, the stairwell. And her friends are trying to egg her on to fight me. Oh, Deanna, we want to talk to you. You called Keisha a bitch. She didn't like that. What are you going to do about that now? Huh? I kept walking. I didn't have to explain myself. I didn't have to do anything. I was not going to give them a satisfaction. And I saw Keisha. Keisha was looking at her feet. She looked scared and sad because she, as I said, she wasn't expecting it. And I'm not making this video to curse these people out and call them bitches and whatnot. That's not the point of this video. The point is that there's only so much bullying and teasing that one can take before they lose it. And I did not want to deal with this girl any longer. I wanted to nip this in the bud. And the thing about this was, her friends were doing all the talking. She was looking at her feet. She didn't even look at me. And when I kept walking, they didn't try to follow because I knew it was a bunch of empty words. But Keisha never bothered me again. Because I let her know I wasn't going to put up with that bullshit anymore. And it took a lot of time. Because, I tell you, I was scared when I did that. I was scared I called Keisha a bitch. But But when I realized that she was more afraid of me than I was of her, things, the dynamic changed. And in retrospect, I'm thinking for all of Keisha's bullying, for her thinking I was ugly and nerdy and weird and making fun of how I taught, etc., etc., for someone who so-called didn't like me, she spent a lot of time obsessing over me. I see the same dynamic with Ava and Janine on Abbott Elementary. I'm thinking, if Ava doesn't like Janine so much and she thinks Janine is weird and a loser, etc., etc., why is she so obsessed with her? She even has a username using Janine's name, where she uses to troll online. The thing with bullies is a lot of bullies are very insecure, they're unsure of themselves, and bullies would rather pick on and tease other people before they get bullied themselves. They're very insecure. They are very weak. Like in high school, Keisha had to have her friends. Her friends were doing the talking, trying to egg me on to fight her. No, I wasn't doing that. I kept walking. I ignored them. Because bullies would rather do the picking first before they get picked on. And Ava, even though she's got a lot of bravado and she's loud and she's a diva, she's shown signs of insecurity. And bullying Janine made her feel good about herself. And I have not always reacted to bullies with cursing them out or calling them bitches. Nah. Sometimes, as I said, I'll keep walking. I'll ignore what they say. I can't curse people at work. When I deal with someone who I think is rude and obnoxious towards me at work, like this is one chick who, she sighs when I speak, rolls her eyes, etc. She curses under her breath if I don't move fast enough for her. I ignore her. I don't give her that satisfaction. So she's, entertaining herself, making those noises. Funny, acting stank. One time we were in the bathroom, and she needed to wash her hands because they had free pizza. I was washing my hands because I was about to use the bathroom. And she starts humming and sighing, trying to rush me along because I was too slow for her. I kept moving at the same pace I was moving at. She could have gone to the kitchen to wash her hands if she needed to wash her hands so badly, because all she was doing is washing her hands for pizza. I kept moving, same pace I was going at. And then my mother, she still wants to try to protect me from bullies, even though I'm almost 45 years old, folks. She'll say, I'm not going to do anything. I just want to see what these people look like. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say anything. No, Ma. You don't have any reason to come to my job. Or any job. No. I know how to pick and choose my battles. I know how to deal with bullies. Or like the trolls I deal with on YouTube. The trolls were horrible. I mentioned trolls in a video I did about Tim Hurd not doing well in Jeopardy. And I got a bunch of racist trolls on that one. I had to close the comments on that one. And the trolls are back. These were sexist trolls on my video about choosing to be single. And I had to be strict with the comments on my videos now because these trolls want an audience. And trolls are bullies in the same way. But with these YouTube trolls, most of them are very cowardly. They are very cowardly. A lot of them, they're using fake names, using pseudonyms, and most of them don't have any content on their own pages. So they can easily sit back in using anonymity to make ignorant comments about my videos and what they don't like, etc., etc. But I'm the one putting my face and my name out there because I'm very brave. I'm a brave person, and I'm not hiding behind a pseudonym to make hateful comments to people because of insecurity. I'm not doing that. I'm not a troll. And I don't even give the trolls on my YouTube page that kind of attention. I delete their comments and block them from commenting in the future. Or more like shadow banning, because there's no full way to block them on YouTube, but yeah. I'm not saying curse the bullies out. I'm not saying flip them the bird. I'm saying, and At the end of the day, bullies and trolls don't matter. They're very weak, they're very insecure, and then instead of boosting themselves up and making themselves feel good about themselves, they need to pick and attack to make themselves feel good about themselves. What does it say about them, folks? And as I said, I never had an issue with Keisha again. And even though a lot of my bullies have apologized to me and we're in communication on social media now, Keisha's one I'd rather leave in the past. I have her blocked on social media. There's just some I don't want to be bothered with. Yeah. I know it's hard, folks, especially the younger ones dealing with bullying right now. I know it's hard. I know it's not easy to deal with. But remember that bullies are cowards. They have to bully and tease others because they don't want to be bullied and teased themselves. And know that in time, you will rise above that. You don't need to deal with them. You rise above that. You don't need to deal with those fools. And in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter. Even if you don't necessarily stand up to your bully, the fact that you're walking out the door and keeping at it, even when things are tough, that shows bravery. That shows courage. And I want you to remember that. If you've liked this video and you want to hear more from me, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care, folks. Have a good day and enjoy the weekend.